How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So now that we have the final game of the Six Nations coming up in just a couple of hours, we are going to see Scotland take on France in Paris. And this is going to be a big game because we could definitely see France not only lift the Six Nations trophy, but we could also see France break some really big records that have been held for quite some time. So I want to break down everything. Before we get cracking, please like and subscribe as it really does help my channel grow. And I just want to be providing you guys with the best content possible. Now, looking at the squads, looking at the players, France have some of the most exciting players in world rugby. But because of the performances and the way that they've been playing recently and that free-flowing attacking rugby has opened up a lot of players to be very creative and bag in some potential records. Now, the first one I want to go through is Louis Bielbiaré, Le Beep Beep, also known as the Roadrunner. This guy, he is so close to becoming. I think it will be the most tries scored in any single tournament in the past 110 years, at least for the Six Nations, which was originally held by Cyril Lowe, and he currently sits at 8. Now, BRBIA, he is currently on 7 in this tournament so far, and we can definitely see Le Beep Beep potentially getting a couple more tries up against Scotland. The way that he's been playing, he's been so electric. His pure pace, his speed on the ball is absolutely electrifying, and there aren't many players in world rugby that are able to keep up with him. So could we potentially see BRBRA absolutely destroy this record? Could he get another 2 tries? I mean, just equaling Cyril Lowe's record is phenomenal. Never mind potentially breaking it. So obviously he's going to want to have a very big game up against Scotland, and Scotland are going to have to do a lot to keep him up because he is one of the most difficult wingers in world rugby to handle. So he sits on 7. That could be the first of multiple records that could potentially be broken in this game up against Scotland. Then we have Damien Penaud. This guy has been bloody electric. He's one of the most consistent and he's one of the most deadly wingers in rugby once again. This record is for the most amount of tries scored for France. Now, this is currently held by the man himself, the legend, the myth, Serge Blanco, right? Quite possibly rated as one of the greatest French players to ever live, to ever grace that pitch. But he sits on 38 as well, and he managed to get that in around in around 90 odd caps for France, whereas Damien Penaud, he's managed to amass the same amount of tries within 57 caps for France. And now you think how often this guy scores. How often he scores tries, and he's still relatively young. It's not like he's in his 30s, getting to the back end of his career. No, he still has so much to give. So another man that we can definitely see break this this record. He's probably got in his head because he could have broken this record up against England, but he kind of flopped. And then he had a toe injury, and there's just been a couple setbacks for him to actually get this over the line. But could we potentially see Damien Penaud get a try up against Scotland? I definitely think so, and he's going to be pushing for it. So when you have both wingers out looking to break records and then really looking to push on, it's going to be fantastic rugby because you're going to see both of these attacking with everything that they have, because you're going to want to see Bielbiaré score 2 tries to break that record, which I'm sure he's got it in his head that he's going to do. And then you need Damien Penaud just to bang in 1 more try to become the all-time leading try scorer for France. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Then we move on to Thomas Ramos, another brilliant, like one of the best in the world, especially at 15. And he is coming to break this record that is held by Michalak, most points scored, right? Michalak currently sits on 436, whereas Ramos, he's currently sitting just 6 points behind at 430. what are the chances of us seeing Ramos break this record? All he needs is two penalties to equal, and then a conversion just to take it over the line and get this through. The way that France have been playing, where they're banging in 50, 60, 70 tries, we could definitely see this happening. And Thomas Ramos just needs to have a regular game, and we're going to see him break this. And not only that, we are going to see a player like Thomas Ramos, who's 28, 29 years old, still got many more years in the bank. He's just going to keep racking and racking and racking on. Again, he's not a player in the back end of his career. He's still in his prime, and he's only getting better. So this record is not just going to be broken; it's going to be absolutely, obliterated, and we are potentially going to see Thomas Ramos really pushing to try and get the most points, in the world. Yes, they are still working. I don't think there's anyone in the top 20, but a player of Thomas Ramos's ability could definitely see him. Could definitely see him there. So this is what I'm talking about: that attacking flair, that attacking talent. That ability with Thomas Ramos, who's quite possibly one of the most deadly men in terms of a dead ball situation when it comes to penalties, conversions. More than often than not, that's going in. So we are definitely going to be seeing a lot on that attacking front, because France are not going to sit back. They are not going to sit back up against Scotland. They're going to be pushing themselves. They are going to be trying to break down that Scottish backs, and we all know just how Scotland fare when they go up against really creative and that have that offensive pressure. They tend to break, and holes are found in that defensive line. And this is where the likes of Damien Penaud and Luis Bielbiere are absolutely terrifying, because they don't need much. And we've seen with Bielbiere where all he needs to do is a grubber. And even if you have a head start on him, there's a good chance he's going to be in front of you. So, yeah, individually, France can potentially break quite a few records here. Plus, also potentially winning the Six Nations. Scotland are still potentially in they are still potentially in the running to win the Six Nations, but a lot would need to fall in their favor. Where I think they would need to beat France by like 50, 55, 56 points, something like that, and then still have Ireland and England lose as well, which, I mean, you go to the bookies and you put your money on it, and if that comes through, you're gonna be raking in quite a bit, but the likelihood of that happening is very low. Um, and then the last but not least, this record could potentially fall in France's favor, where we are looking at the most tries in a tournament, and currently that sits with England on 30 tries. Right, that's England right now. France are currently sitting at 26. We've seen all the games that France have been playing, and if you had to take in consideration opponent and quality and tries that has been scored, France are averaging, a good few tries every single game. So what's the likelihood of this really coming through and France getting more than 4 tries? It's actually pretty high. So I think this is definitely one that we could see get across the line and have France topple this record. And who knows, if France are having their day and want to bang in 50, 60 points up against Scotland, this is another stat that could be absolutely demolished, and see France really take that. So yes, France have the ability to break quite a few. Let's see if it's on the cards. Honestly, I'm rooting for France to get this across the line, but you can never underestimate the ability of Ireland, of England as well, because you never know how results might fall, and if they fall in Ireland's favor, look, they've been leading they've been leading the Six Nations for most of the tournament. One game derailed everything, and made France favorites. So I think this would be the perfect ending for France, to have Alba to become to become the holder of the most tries scored in a single tournament, to have Damien Penaud to become the highest try scoring player in French history, to have Thomas Ramos become the highest points holder in French history, and then to potentially have France become the highest scoring team in a single tournament. So, guys, let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and we're only a couple hours away from the game. So I will be doing a match review after each and every single game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.